Agents are here to help. How can we help? We thought we would go through the basics today. Fair trading, Google reviews for agents, emergency repairs. We're going to go through all the SOS stuff with property and teach you about it today.
And more.
And more. Stay tuned.
What is that music?
Music.
I feel like some boys put that together.
It's rock.
Yeah, it's like hard rock.
It's
I don't know.
rock.
It's probably not what I feel like on a Monday night.
No, but before we
After
get
a
into it,
busy day.
1,500 podcasts and videos live we've done over the past 4 years. Congratulations, Novak team. Well done.
Seriously.
Thank you, everyone, for your support.
Not only that, but a lot of people don't realize these are not repeats. This is a live show every single day. Monday to Friday is Morning Minutes. Monday evening is Novak News. And every Saturday, the crew do breakfast at Novak's. Like, to come up with that content and think the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, to come up with the stuff, to research it, and then to be able to sit here and just talk about stuff and the coordination of it, and then just blasting it out. It's honestly, it's a massive effort. So well done to everyone. There's some guys and girls that get in here every single day at 7:30 a.m.
Just to do it.
Just to do it.
Yep.
To research. I mean, I'm doing it on Tuesday mornings now with Billy. We've already spoken about it this evening, what we're going to talk about tomorrow morning. Like, it's a lot of research.
And where do you get that information? Like that local Northern Beaches, property centric, right? It's not from mainstream media. They're like 3 months behind, 2 months behind, 1 month behind. We're like on the day. This is what's happened yesterday, last week. This is like boom, 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 relevant stuff.
We try to keep it as easy to digest information as well. Like we really do, to make it easy for you guys. Because as Mark said, if you went into even ChatGPT and tried to find a lot of this info, it's impossible to find, and then it's really hard to understand.
Yes.
So we hope it's been helpful to a lot of you guys out there. We really do.
Thank you for your support and feedback. We do get a lot of people asking us to talk about stuff. People, even years later, making comments and about stuff that we've done to help them with this sort of stuff. So thank you.
We really do.
Another one today. Please tell me what I got wrong when I opened up, Lisa. When I opened up saying what we're going to talk about, Lisa goes, that's not what we're going to talk about.
Tonight?
Yeah.
No, tonight we're going to be talking about where do you go in case of not so much an emergency, but where do you go if you're, a tenant and there's something happening within your property? Where do you go if you want to complain about a real estate agent? Where do you go if you're being trolled on your social media and, you're doing this sort of real estate stuff? Just some of those topics is what we're going to cover tonight. Tonight. All right, let's start, Mark. So not only do we do an enormous amount of sales here on the Northern Beaches, but a lot of people don't know we manage close to 2,000 properties here at Novak. We really do. We
shelter, homes for people.
And we have some of the most experienced property managers in the industry that have been with us for well over 10 years.
The best. Ninjas of property. They know property management like nobody else. What does that mean to a landlord? What does that mean to a tenant? They don't have to. They give you the shortcuts. They get you what you need faster, better.
They definitely do. So, Mark, you're a tenant. It's 8 o'clock at night, and something's happened within your property.
Yes.
And listen, guys, before we go into it too much, if there ever is an emergency and you're ever in doubt, always just go to the good old faithful 000. This is just some helpful little tips. Sometimes people don't know what to do. Their property's flooding or, the power's gone out. It's 8 o'clock at night. What do you do, Mark? Who do you call? Property manager isn't available, maybe. What do you do?
Is it an emergency? If it's an emergency, you get stuff, whatever you have done, straight away. So you open up the, I guess if it's a plumber, you call the emergency plumber. Check the back of your lease because there may be emergency contacts there that are preferred by the agency. It makes it a smooth landing the next day. If it can wait, pull it into the next day, call your property management company 8 o'clock the next morning and get on to the job.
Yeah, but if it is an emergency, again, guys, if you've got a fire or something like that, absolutely, you should always revert to triple O.
Yes.
But there is a lot there. Like, for instance, we've got emergency contacts that are readily available. A plumber, an electrician, these guys will work around the clock. Or even if there's a flood or something like that, these guys will work around the clock. In fact, you can actually call us. You can call our landline. We're going to be able to get onto our property managers at any time of the day or night. I saw Tina Stacey, one of our property managers, was working on Sunday she was working. We had a bit of an emergency there. So always feel free to reach out to your property manager.
It's a live show. Any questions, write them in. We'll answer them live.
Repairs and maintenance. I think that should be relatively obvious, Mark, if you need a repair or maintenance done and you're a tenant.
Try to put in writing, try to supply photos.
Yep.
Faster repair.
Perfect. Okay, I want to talk about a juicy one. So we hear a lot, particularly of late, there's been a lot in the media about underquoting. Moving on to sales now, we hear about it a lot. Who would you call if you are unhappy with a real estate agent? You feel like there's underquoting going on, or you feel like there's something that's a bit untoward with a property sale?
Bad review on Google and Facebook, and tell the mothers group on Facebook. No. I would contact the principal of the agency and express your concerns. So in a real estate agency, there is a licensee. That licensee is holding the reins of the business, the trust account, the staff, and things like that. Yep. They are inevitably responsible for everything. Their name is physically printed on the front door of the property. It must be by law. So let them know first. And then if you see it repeating, you've got some friends at Fair Trading that don't like it as well. So Department of Fair Trading will record. And when they start seeing a pattern, they'll investigate. And boy, when they investigate an agency,
they do.
Yeah, wow.
They really do. And you would think, government body, it's going to be painful. You can literally put through a complaint to the Fair Trading website. Believe you me, they're going to act on it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, it used to be that it would take weeks, months. It would be just, you'd be pulling your hair out with it. But these days, they actually really do act on stuff very, very quickly.
Yes.
And, there's similar regulatories as well with, rental disputes and things like that. You do have tribunals and that sort of stuff. But, yes, they do take this sort of stuff very, very seriously.
Yes.
Social media, that's one that I want to address.
Wow.
So,
what do you mean?
Well, people think, and it doesn't happen to us a lot, thank goodness, but people think that it's okay. I see some comments sometimes that people put onto people's social media.
Trolls.
And how harsh it can be.
Trolls.
Yeah.
Trollers.
So there's two types, I reckon, Mark. There's trolls. They're people that are on social media that are just like annoying.
Yeah.
And you can just easily block them.
Yes.
Don't respond. Don't comment.
Haters.
Don't poke the bear. And then you've got actual bullies, people that will just continually harass and they won't let go. These days, there's actually these governing bodies for social media that you can report to.
Really? Social media handles it pretty well, though.
Yeah.
Like I find Facebook, Instagrams, things like that, they're pretty good handling that sort of stuff. The trolls. What's that got to do with where do you go if you need a lifeline?
Well, that what do you mean? That's
so
huge.
Are you saying real estate agents can?
Oh my God! Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah. I think people.
No, this is a real issue, Mark. Because I put this out onto my social media. I had someone about 2 years ago. In fact, I don't get a lot, thank goodness, and don't come for me. But I did have someone who was on my LinkedIn, and it was really, really bad. And I ended up doing a big segment with Tom Panos and Lisa Jemison. Lisa's an amazing real estate lawyer. We did a big segment on it, and I had so many people reach out to me telling me how harassed and bullied they would get, sometimes by their competitors if they lost a listing. It's really bad, actually. So there is help out there, guys.
There is.
You can report it. There's all sorts of social media guidelines. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do.
Yep.
So feel don't ever feel like you're alone there. And often I find calling those bullies out, shining the light on the cockroaches.
Real estate rescue,
usually
where to
work.
go when you need a lifeline. So
Insurance. Let's just talk about insurance for a sec.
Yes.
So you have got let's talk about a rental property for a moment. What sort of insurance can you take out if you have a rental property and you want to make sure that you are protected?
There's two types.
Yep.
One is like a building insurance, which is, burn, flood, stuff like that. People get this confused because there's that type, which is your structure, and then there's the business type, which is your income and your tenant and malicious damage. So you can get tenancy insurance for about $400 if you're a landlord-ish. Terry Shearer is very good. And then you should have a building insurance anyway. So particularly if it's where people get this confused is if it's a house, it's on you. If it's strata, your strata mandatory must have insurance on the building.
This is correct. Yeah. And it is important, because everything's great until it's not.
Yeah.
And when things go wrong, it happens very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So, always feel free to reach out to us. I want to talk about the real estate agent, Mark, because we are a wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
I know you had helped someone out the other day who was having some issues. They were having some financial issues and they reached out to you. The first thing that they wanted to do was get their property on the market, sell their property.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, what's the question though?
Not a question, it's a statement.
Yeah, look, I think
Mark's had a long day.
I know where you're going with this.
I feel like I'm not setting you up, Mark. It's just a conversation.
It's just the auto defense from being married, just always on the defense. So what have I done wrong? Everything. I think a good real estate agent is a trusted one. And I think if it's a trusted person, you can ask these guys questions that are outside of, sell my property, and they will help. So they often have a conduit or a connection to some really good local people, whether it's accountants, brokers, a deeper understanding of your property, to do something else with it rather than what you're thinking, generate more income. This particular circumstance was a friend reaching out in business, just going, it's really hard and everything's really tight. And there was a business question to it as well as a real estate question to it. So as a business person, you help people as well. So I think it's okay, to that's the great thing about a local business is over the years you build up a relationship with people and it goes beyond just the bricks and mortar. And they ask you those questions. So I think where we're going with this is, if you've got a good trusted agent, trust us, and you want to come to us with the whole package, that honesty really actually helps because sometimes people are guarded with the facts and it appears weird. So I think if you can be really liberal, really open and say, Mr. Real Estate Agent, that you trust that, this is where we are. Often I'm always talking about people's income, very private. I'm talking about their tax position, very private. You probably don't know that within that same week, I had another person come to me with something even deeper and even worse, tax bills. And they're saying, look, this is a situation, this is where we are, but you can have much better carriage and you can connect them into different, people that can help. Like the one you mentioned, business coach. Like I work with a business coach every fortnight for half a day, and it's been a long time, that relationship. And I've shared my business coach with him to say, maybe Wayne can help you out as well. So yeah, it's
and that's the thing, like, a great agent is really a trusted advisor. And Mark could easily have just turned around and said, well, get your property on the market, sell it, and then you'll just cash out. But that definitely was not the advice that was given. In fact, you really, really assisted that person and helped them by giving them some great referrals.
Yep.
And that's the other thing. Like we deal with some of the best solicitors, conveyancers, accountants, financial advisors, business coaches, landlords, like, there is help out there that's available.
Yeah.
The last resort should be, if you're in financial distress, the last resort should be selling your property. Often there is another way out. So we're certainly here to offer that
we've
lifeline.
done it. We've held hands with people that have done it before in the same situation. So you start to see patterns of what's the best thing to do and what the best thing to do is. So we do have that. It's great because we're doing that with volume. You're doing it in your world on your own, and you're like, you don't know whether it'll left or right, because we're quite transactional. We can see the patterns and say, have a look, have you thought about this or do that? It's like, that's a good one.
And it's a big deal. Like, you're dealing with people's finances. Like, the situation isn't always, we're selling our apartment because we're upsizing to a beautiful multi-million-dollar property. Sometimes the situations that we deal with are really dire.
Yeah.
Someone has passed away, someone is in financial distress. And so, we are there able to throw out lifelines and refer people. As I said, we're working with some of the best solicitors, accountants, financial advisors in the business.
Yeah.
What else, Mark? I don't have anything else on my list.
The show.
That's it.
Flavio's got to ask something.
What have we got there? A heavy one. Handling situations where a tenant is found deceased either by family members. What's the best way to handle it? So as real estate agents, thanks Flavio, as real estate agents, we have an obligation, that is factual information, that if we do know that someone has passed away in a property, we must disclose that information. And it's always, an extremely sensitive topic. But yes, we must disclose it. So if we know that someone has passed away in a property that we are selling, then we must disclose that to any prospective buyers.
Yeah, we've had some extraordinary circumstances, and you develop a set of skills, like what to do, what not to do, and when not to do. And I think a good agent understands those, those rules of engagement. We had I was just talking about, I think on Saturday, we had a property in Curl where unfortunately the tenant was found deceased, younger person, and we had the auction booked in that day. We literally walked in that day and the tenant was deceased, and we moved the auction to another location, and we had to tell everyone that the auction was what happened, that there was something had happened in the property, and the person that bought it was an ambulance officer, which was didn't mind, and it was that, but we covered the owner because the owner was exposed. If that wasn't disclosed, we got a result for the owner. And we were respectful to the family. We know where it happened, so just walking away and moving to a different location, and then working with them through that. So I think again, I wouldn't underestimate someone who's experienced in their field and what they're doing in your agent, the value add that they can do. I think in everything that we've said today, the best thing I can do is just total transparency.
Yeah.
When you've got that problem, asking for help, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit into the threshold of what you think the agent should or shouldn't do. Just ask. They'll tell you if they can't help. But I think that honesty, that's huge. And it can add so much value.
Absolutely. And we are dealing with so many different situations. Unfortunately, we have dealt with situations like that, not once, but quite a few times. But there is, as I said, we're able to assist with as much information as we can. And if there's stuff that we don't know, we're very fortunate that we have a whole realm of people that we can reach out to, that we can tap into.
Yeah.
We really, really do. But, if there's ever something that you guys don't know, if you're unsure of something, if you don't know what to do, always reach out to us.
Yep.
As I said, we're managing 2,000 properties. We're a very large real estate agency here on the Northern Beaches. Many of us come with years and years and years of experience. There's not really much that we haven't dealt with respect to real estate.
Yeah.
We've had stories from cats setting properties on fire. True story. Literally, a cat walked over a what do you call those? I've had a busy day today. One of those induction cooktops, and turned the stove on, and the owner was away, I don't know what the cat was doing inside the property. Anyway, the property ended up burning down.
This is a fire department.
This is the fire department that confirmed that.
Confirmed this.
There's not much that we haven't dealt with. We've dealt with, unfortunately, people have been deceased. It just goes on and on and on. It floods.
Attended tribunals where both the landlord and the tenant have taken it to the highest level of threat in a tribunal, and it's been, but I think that I won't say like your agent that you're going to use is smart or not smart. I'll just say they've often done that before.
Yeah, so actually, just on that, Mark, I do want to just say on that, like, property management, this cannot be underestimated. That side of the industry is not that heavily regulated. And if you've got someone that's managing your property, they can have been a beauty therapist 2 months ago, and now they're managing your multi-million-dollar investment property. Yeah. This is a problem when you run into trouble, and you've got to go and represent your landlord in a tribunal. And, these girls and guys that work under our umbrella, as I said, some of them have been working here for minimum 10 years.
Yeah.
Minimum. Brunker, a head of property management, has been here for 17 years. Cleo, 15 years. Tina, 10 years.
Yeah, if it's in your wheelhouse, you do it all the time. You get really good at it. These ladies are genuinely the Mother Teresa's of what they do. They really care.
There's not much
their experience.
100%, and that makes the world of difference. When you call and you've got a tricky scenario, or your property's burnt down, or something's happened, you've got a tenant that's ruining your property, whatever it may be, they're the people that you want on your side. So, when people think that there's, all property managers are all the same, they're definitely not. Or they're shopping around for the cheapest management fee. I'm like, oh my God.
Like, I just got off the phone with a client, which has an asset that they manage themselves. And the value, I know I'm sounding like I'm talking it up, but I know that when I got off that phone, that lady would have turned around and just went, wow, like, I'm missing out on a lot because I've been managing it myself and I'm not exposed to someone with experience. Like, she's left money on the table. And money and time and stress. And then the shortcuts that I had for her, that I offered her straight away in the conversation, you could see she was like, and what? So, yeah, I think the big thing today is
sometimes you're just talking about the difference of a couple of $100 over a whole year. The difference in having a property manager that was a beauty therapist 2 months ago, and someone like one of our girls that have been in the industry for minimum 10 years.
I would have given this lady a brand new car every year.
What, from what you saved her, you mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I would have that if I know that, like, in the things that we do in managing that type of property, the value add would have been a brand new car every year. That's on top of our fees.
Not only that, but sometimes we'll take, like, we just took over.
Then, didn't you?
No, but this is actually true. I took over a management. I brought over a management last week, and I gave it to one of the girls to manage, and she contacted me and she goes, Lisa, this property is terribly underpriced. Like, we need this property should be earning an extra $200 a week.
$10,000 a year.
Like, why did their property manager not tell them that?
Yep, fell asleep at the wheel.
Seriously.
Fell asleep at the wheel. But
and forget.
And
shocking.
By the way, if you're not feeling this, if you've watched this today and thought there's no chance I can ring my agent and ask this, wrong agent. Yeah. Just switch your agent to someone who's really knowledgeable, doesn't cost you any money, and can happen within days.
And actually, the segment wasn't even about that. No. But the outgoing property management, the agency that you've got your property being managed with, will tell you it's really hard. Guys, trust me, it's not. It's signing a new rental agency agreement. And we even actually do the letter for you, and you sign it. You don't even have to talk to your outgoing property manager.
If you're selling, if you're renting out your property.
It's that easy.
If you want to buy and you're not sure.
Yeah. But there is a vast difference. And not only that, try and look for these girls, and there's girls and guys that work in our property management, but the ladies that run the property management division of our agency, try and find them anywhere.
I'd say that's our biggest talent.
You cannot.
I'd say building a tribe of amazing people. It's probably been the greatest thing about our agency.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, talking to JK the other night, and we'll talk about, you know, the agents will go anywhere, agents will do anything, they'll do it for money. But no, I think that when you with that sort of those sort of people in your team, you've built that team, you are that, they are that, we are that. People are attracted to come to an agency on the back of that.
There's not much they don't know.
I think by using an agency that is of quality, I don't know, it sounds like we're plugging ourselves, but you know, if you're out of Sydney,
no, but we're actually talking about real estate rescue. Where do you go when you need a lifeline? The reality is, and I just want to draw down on that again, Tina has been here at Novak for 10 years.
All of our property.
Cleo has been here at Novak for 15 years. She's been in the industry for about 19 years.
Yep.
And then you've got Branka, who's been here with us for 17 years. But you cannot find these girls anywhere in the industry. Yep. You just can't.
And their attraction is each other. Like, it's just an amazing. It's almost like a family. So the way they need those need those owners, look after those owners, is like nothing else. I know it sounds like a plug-in, but rescue, make sure the agency that you're using has got that quality, and don't accept second best, and ask the questions. Don't be shy, be honest, be liberal, be open with people when you have a solution that you need fixed with real estate, and you'll be surprised if you give that honesty, the honesty you'll get back. Agreed.
All right, guys. There you have it. Hopefully there's some information there. There's definitely people out there that can help. And as I said, hopefully this information's helped you guys out there. If it has, feel free to share it with your friends.
I'd like to thank my host, Lisa Noda.
Thanks, Mark.